weekly preview. It's the last full week of May. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, too. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Thank you for everyone that serves our country, has, past, present, future. Thank you for every one of you. It's AK47 over at Prime Trading Investments and at TradeCaster.com. What's it, the 28th through the 31st? Tuesday, the day I'm releasing this right now. Today is Tuesday the 28th. Friday's the 31st. Last few days here of May. Let's take advantage, okay? Okay. So let's get into the first guy, the SPY guy, right? Up in this beautiful uptrend. Go back to it overall, and I've been talking about this. We know it. We broke the downtrend there a few weeks ago, and we've been riding up it pretty much the rest of May. Now, get to that 15-day, 15-minute time frame. Had that massive pullback on Thursday. I don't know that we get any lower than that this week. Maybe the highs from a couple of weeks ago, so we'll zoom in from there. Overall this week, over 530, watch for a move up to that 531.50 mark, which was really strong resistance there for 3 days, almost essentially 4 days in a row, until we broke out of it with NVDA and its earnings. Now, over that 431, we'll call it 50 to 75 mark, we'll fly through 432, in my opinion, up to probably 4, honestly, over that mark should get a good spike. Whatever day we do it, up to around 433.50, possibly 434. That'll be my normal high of the week, ultimate high of the week. Of course, we'll take it to new all-time highs. Over 434, we should see 535, in my opinion, 536.50, possibly 537.50 if it's a big week. Now, again, it's a shortened week, so I wouldn't imagine a lot of movement. All the earnings reports are done now as we really kind of officially head off almost into summer, so to speak, with the last week here of May. So we'll see what we get this week. I wouldn't imagine much, but hey, I have been wrong before. But I would imagine kind of like what we got on Monday and Tuesday before the big earnings report on NVDA on Wednesday. And you can see the movement came then. Before, we had a big sell-off. And then we had movement. And then we really had some movement. And then even more on Friday. And so maybe a lot of that is exhausted after a 3-day weekend. And it's Monday and Tuesday, or well, I should say Tuesday and Wednesday will be a lot like this. And then maybe we'll get some movement toward the tail end of this week. On the bottom side, watch back under this 528.75, 528.85 mark, and then especially 528. Under that, you can see it's really strong support at 527.75. Boom. Bam. Down to here. So somewhere right around that mark, right around 527.50, 35.75 area, midway through the 527 is essentially a strong support. Once we crack that, watch for move down to 527. And below that, in my opinion, probably around 526. Under 526, we should hit last week's low if and when we do have a pullback. That'll be my normal low of the week. Makes pretty good sense too. 5 up is the normal high of the week, 5 down, pretty much around the normal high of the normal high and low of the week. Below that, watch for a move down to 524. And below that, like I said, your ultimate low of the week would take it around 522.75 to 522.35. This 522 area is a lot like this 527 area. Once a triple top, pretty, rangy, about 30-40 cents apart. Once a triple bottom, about 20, 30, 40 cents a top. About like this top was right here, right? SPY loves to create those. And so watch out when you see those in the SPY. Now let's go alphabetical style right here. We'll go over to Apple, Trapple, Capple. Same, similar look kind of as the SPY there recently, finally moving a little bit more like it. Over this 90-50 mark, watch for a move up to right here. 91. This is all. We'll call this all in one area. This 90-50ish mark, as you can see, right around there, up to about 91. Very strong resistance, but through that we should get a nice move up to at least right about right here, 91.35, if not up to around 91.80. Over that up to then 92.75, 92.80. That'll be my normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week would take it back to around. We've been doing this over and over and over. Over that mark, watch for a move up to around 94.50, possibly 95. Maybe a hair over 95 to 96, but 94.50 to 96 would be your ultimate high of the week. Now for your lows, watch for a crack back under this 89, we'll call it 80 mark. Under that, watch for a move down to 89.50 and below it to 89.20, somewhere in that same vicinity. We crack below that, we're down to 88.75 rule, and below that down to 88. Below 88, watch for a move down to around 87.30, and then down to around 86.65. Yeah, 86.65 for your normal low of the week. Your ultimate low would then take it to 86.50, which I'll include that in the same area. Then down through 86 for a potential move down to 85.50, if not 85 for your ultimate low of the week. For AMD here, very, very choppy. Cannot get out of this weird channel here, and it was kind of a gross one before. This one's wheel wonky. I can't even talk right now. It's real wonky and choppy. So we'll really just zoom in for here, and I'll really say this will be my normal high and lows. What we created on that Thursday will stick in that channel, and that'll be the top and the bottom of what could be the trend for next week, or the channel, so to speak. And so over this 68 mark, watch for a move through 68 to 69 right here, right? So you can see here over this 68 mark, watch for a pop up to around 69. And over 69, watch for a pop up then to around 71.50 and then 73.15 for your ultimate high of the week. 72 will probably get hit too as well over 71.35. On the way back on down, watch for a move back under 65.85 and under that down to around 64.80. Under that down to 64. Under 64, watch for a move down to 63.15 and under that down to around 62.30. Under 62.30, watch for a move down to Friday's low of day of 60.35 to 60, right? Because that was also a dip right there on Thursday, lines up with Friday, but then also a little bit lower than that reversal on the Thursday a couple of weeks ago. Then below that, we'll get to Thursday's low of day, which will be my normal low of the week. 60 to this 58.25 mark, normal low of the week. Your ultimate low of the week. Somehow we have a massive sell-off, and I think that's kind of included in with that right there. Would be a move down into the 57s, but I don't think we'd get to 56s, but that would be about it, somewhere in here. See this, kind of like we just saw with the SPY, where there was that area where it's kind of rangy, where we were resisting, and we broke out of it and had a nice good move up. That would be my ultimate low of the week, somewhere below 58, from around 57.65 to around 56. Let's go for the move back on up. I know I mentioned that 73 mark. So again, over this 70, let's go 68 to 70 and then to 73.15. I forgot over. That's your normal high of the week. Your ultimate high of the week over that would be for a move up possibly right here to 74.25, 75.35, and possibly 76. So I'll go 75 to 76 area for your ultimate high of the week. It just feels like this is going to be choppy and range bound. Now, maybe we do get back up to 80. I mean, it's not like it's far off. I just feel like this is going to be a little choppier. It's a shortened 4-day week. I just don't see a lot out of AMD this week until we get below this or above that. Excuse me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Same thing here with ARM. Very channel-like overall, where the top of it's going to be around that 118.50, 75, and 119 mark. Bottom being right around the 108.75 mark to 110. So use that channel through there. Nothing really great I see through ARM over that. Now, over this 116 and 117 mark, especially over 117, then you don't have much left over. I like that over 117. For your short back under 113.80, watch for a move down, potentially down to this 112 mark. You know, you got to watch out for this low right here of 112.60 area. And then especially once you get below 110.50, you know, you got room down to 109.50 and then 108.75. Again, that'll be my normal high and low of the week. Your ultimate low of the week would crack it back through this 108.75 mark down to 107.50, potentially to 106. For a move over 118 to 119, watch for that move up, and I've said it before, just over 120 to around 121 to 122 for your ultimate high of the week. For Google, kind of weird choppy movement. I do love this over 180, but again, that'll be my normal high of the week. Back over 177.30 to 178, and over that to 178.75, 179 area. Then we have a little bit of resistance at 179.30 to 179.50, and then truly at 180. Over 180, this will squeeze, which again, that is my normal high of the week. Ultimate high would take it to 182.50, possibly 183.50. Sorry, my Great Dane over here. Under 176, watch for a move down to 175.25, and then down to this 174.50. I'll go a little bit lower for my normal low of the week, being we're starting a little bit lower. Under 174.50, 65 area, watch for a move down to 174. And for a move down below 174 to 173.50, possibly a little lower than that to 172.50. So my normal low of the week will be 173.50-ish, like I said. Ultimate low, well, I didn't say that, actually, my bad. I didn't say that. I'll say right around 173.50 for my normal low of the week down to 172.50. And then below that for your ultimate low of the week, watch for a move down through this 172.50 area. You can see the little upper shadow right there too as well. Under 172.50 to 172. And then it gets a little choppy. And that's why I don't know if we get much lower than that, because look how much charting you have to go through. I don't see a lot of collapse through that area. I'll give it 170 for your ultimate low of the week, but it's going to be hard to get through my normal low of the week, which was that 173.50 to 172.50. I'll just say that. Meta. really gross channel. Really hard to trade this until we get over 485 or 4250, I should say. And again, over this 480 mark to 48250, 480 to 4250. Over that for your normal high of the week. Let's go back to that 4 hour and see what we have next. And that's why it's been hard to get over. A lot of old support there. So it's going to be hard to get over. But when we finally do, I think we do finally squeeze because we've put a lot of pressure on it recently and not really pulling back. Over 8250, as you can see here, a lot of resistance through that area. Watch for a move to 8450, 85. Over that for a move up to around, as you can see right through there, up to around 8750. Over 8750, which is the intervals I teach to you all the time, which I will talk about in that charting lesson that I'm releasing tomorrow. Over 8750 to 80 or 90. Over 90, which will be, where am I? I'm just taking off to the races here. I will go normal high of the week. Normal high of the week. Normal high of the week. 8750 to 90. 8750 to 490. Ultimate high of the week. Watch for move up to 493.80, maybe even 496.50. This one just has that potential, in my opinion, if there's going to be a bigger mover this week, that could get that real big surge finally. And maybe I could almost come in and say, again, my normal high of the week should be, and I'll say this, I know it's 87.50 to 90, but we've just ranged so much that I'm like, man, if we pop, that's exactly where it's going to go to. And so I could say normal high of the week could be 82.50, and we don't get over that. I think we finally do, but don't be surprised if we don't. And so normal high of the week, I know I have is 87.50 to 90, but I will say don't be surprised if 82.50 somehow holds up. And yet again on the downside, under 75, watch for a move down to around 73, under 73. Watch for a move down to 71.50, down to 70.75. Under 775 down to 70. Under 70, watch for a move down to 68.75 rule, and this is where it gets real choppy, down to 67.50, possibly down to 67. Under 67, I will say 67-ish to 65, normal low of the week, somewhere in here. Ultimate low would then take it right down to this area as usual, 62.50, 62, Sherry, maybe a dip into the 61s. Over to Microsoft. Could start to be creating a channel, could be starting this right here, up top. So for a move over 30.85 area, watch for a move through 31 to 31.40 and then up to 32. Over 32 to 32, really almost to 33. Over 33 up to 34, we'll call it 34.75. Normal high of the week right there. Maybe a dip, I should say a dip, but a hair over 35, even potential, maybe make a new all-time high, right? Overall, that'll be my normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week would squeeze, and we just have a big day that maybe takes it, pushes through all that. We'll say through 36.50 to 37.50-ish. I don't think we get quite to 38.75, but we'll go 37.50 to 38.75 ultimate high of the week. Right there is your normal high. Short, watch under this 29 area. Under 29, watch for a move down to around 28.75. That area is going to be crucial. We will fall through 28 in my opinion, or close to it, if not below to 27.50. Then below 27.50, watch for a move down to 26.50. Then to 25.75 area, potentially down to 27 or 25.35. Under 25.35 here, which you can see that lines up in an upper shadow on high of day. Watch for a move down to the low of Friday, which also lines up pretty much with the low on Tuesday, which is right around the 24.85 mark, down to around 24.30. Down to around 24, which will be my normal low of the week. Somewhere right there will be my normal low of the week, right around 24. You can see lining up through that area. Ultimate low would be just a big sell-off this week, down through 23, possibly for a move right there, down to around 420 for your ultimate low of the week. Now, it's kind of big, but that's what I said. That's what you said. I guess I really should say. Over Netflix here, all-time highs again. Over the 652 mark. Watch for all-time highs. I think it easily could happen this week. Could have another couple of big days like we had, at least at the initial part of the day, or at least maybe we have an all-dayer, and then we can have one of these where we just go flying up 15, 17, 20 bucks at the opening 15, 20, 30 minutes or so. Maybe, first hour of the day. But Netflix, over the 652 mark, watch for move through 655 to 657.50, 658.75, and then to 660. Keep working those levels up. To mine, in my opinion, 250 at a time, up to 665. I think 667.50 to 670 will be your normal high of the week. Your ultimate high of the week would take it up to 685, getting really close and surging into 700. For your move back on down, watch under 645 for your move down right here to 643, under 643 to 642 area. Watch for a move down to 640. Under 640 to 638, 50, 75 area. And below that, we'll see a straight move to 635-ish. Right through here. Under 635, could be another $5 increment move down to 630. 630 down to around 627.50 being my normal low of the week. Your ultimate low would then take it back down to 625, and a big sell-off would surge down to 622. And then below that to 618.50 for your ultimate low of the week. You want a little bit bigger there on Netflix. Being possible. I know it's a shortened week, but a couple of these, I think there could be movement. Meta, Netflix, and of course, this granddaddy of them all. That's the NVDA. Surging away here up to all-time highs now at 1070. I think this moves up, and I said this on Friday. I said that on Friday this moves up to 1100. I would imagine on Friday, or on Tuesday, I should say, today we see 1100. I'm dropping this in the morning. Let's see where we finish for the day. But watch over this 1070 mark through 1080, 1085, right? 1087.50, 1090, 1092.50, 1095, 1097.50, 1098.75, 1100. That could all happen. All could happen, excuse me, on Monday or Tuesday, today, right now. So watch for move to 1100. 1100 could be the move where we finally kind of base out and start creating a channel. I know at some point we'll start creating some sort of a channel, as we've done here with NVDA. It doesn't matter where we're at. We'll create a channel, usually, typically, and unless we get to all-time high area, and then we'll sometimes still see a pullback, but create a channel, as we did here, as we went up to 9, but went to boom. And you can see here from 975 to 850, but then back up to that area, and then we can see we're kind of channeling till we cracked out of the channel, and then start to try to regain, get back into it, as we did here. Now we're back in it, and then we surge, right? And so overall, that could happen up top. So where's the top? Is it going to be 10 or 1100? I think we can get over that. So watch for, we'll just go ahead and say normal numbers as much as we have moved here. Since earnings, we've gone from 1020 to 1070, so we've moved $50, right? So I think we could easily move up $50 in a couple of days. So I'll go over 1100, watch for move, to maybe 1115, 1125. I don't think we'll get too much higher than that this week. So I'll say, but for normal high of the week. So I'll say normal high of the week, 1100 to 1125-ish. Ultimate high of the week, watch for a move, and somehow we just surge, and we move up to 10, or I should say through that area to about 1150. So we'll say 10 or 1100 to 1125 normal high, 1150 plus ultimate high of the week. Now if we were moved back on down, which will be a little easier to determine, under 1065 area, 1063, watch for a move down to 1060, then down to around 1057.50, 1058.50, somewhere in there. Below that, a nice good move down to 1055, and then down to 1052, 1051.50, somewhere right there. Below that, 1050. Below 1050, watch for a move down to around here, 1045, then right here to around 1042.50. Below 1042.50, we see a good pullback, in my opinion, down to around 1037, 1050 to 1038, somewhere in there. Below that to 1035. Below 1035 to 1030. 1030 will be my normal low of the week. 1035 to 1030, normal low of the week, because I think we surge at first before we pull back. Today, we'll see though, ultimate low of the week would then take it for surely down to this 1020 mark, then it cracked back down to 1010. 1010 to 1000, somewhere in here would be the bottom as of now for your ultimate low of the week. And two over the Qs, channeling up as well, as we can see right here. So the Qs here, watch over this 1058, we'll call 1059, or 10. There I go with NVDA. This 459 mark for a move up, 459 to 459.35-ish. Watch over that. You'll fly to 460. Over 460, you're going to move to 461 and then probably to 461.50. That'll be my normal high of the week. My ultimate high of the week, watch for a move up to 462.50. And this may all help with NVDA and everything kind of surging up this week. Maybe we get some big moves. I know that's more SPY, but Q as well could move up with it, as we've seen. And so I'll go normal high of the week, 61.50. Ultimate high of the week, 62.50, through that to 63.50, 50-cent increments pretty much for the most part, up to 65. 465 ultimate high of the week. Normal low of the week. Watch for a move under 57 here down to around 56.25, down to around 56 area. Below that for a move down to 55.65, down below that to 55.25. Below that down to around 55.75 or 54.75, and below that watch for a move down to around 54. Under 54 down around to this nice move to this little lower shadow right there of 53.50, and then down to around 53. Under 53 right here, that lower shadow of 52.80, and then below that we're going to move down to around probably somewhere between 50 as you can see here, 52.35 to around 52, somewhere in here. That'll be my normal low of the week, 52.35 to 52. You can see where my crosshairs are going through and what I'm basing off of, right? Under that mark, watch for a move down to 51.50, and below that down to 50.50. Under 50.50 to 50. Right around 4.50 to 449.50 will be my ultimate low of the week. SMCI, doing a little bit different than NVDA now, right? So SMCI is kind of running in its own little boat, so to speak. And so SMCI, watch for a move as we're nice and tight here in after hours. Could happen again on this morning and Tuesday. If we do, when we're really nice and tight, we have a really good chance to fly. Of course, I'll go over that in my charting lessons. But I love that kind of pre-market look. We'll just talk about over this 895 and 900 mark, though, is going to be key for a move to 905. Over 905 to 910, this is like $5 to $10 increments, then up to 920, over 920 to 925, over that to 930, over that there's a $10 one to 940, then 945, over that to 950, right? You kind of get the gist here. And I'll go normal high of the week, 950. Ultimate high of the week is this 970 mark, unless we somehow this flies back with NVDA. But I'll go normal high of the week, somewhere right around, my bad. It's normal high of the week, my bad. Somewhere right around 940, maybe to 945. Ultimate high of the week would then move it to 950, 955 area, and then through that to 970. For your move back on down, watch under 880, under 880 to 870, under 870 to 865, and you get it. Here we go again. Then down to 860, then to 855, or 850, I should say, under 860, under 850, another $10 move down to 840, 840 to 835, somewhere in there is my normal low of the week. Your ultimate low of the week, which is going to be hard to get back through this area, would move it to 830, 825, 820, somewhere in the 18s. I don't think we cracked back below 800 just quite yet. So I'll say somewhere right around 810, 815, 820, somewhere in there for your ultimate low of the week. Last but not least here, Tesla still also, as you've seen a lot of these range-bound kind of gross charting. I'm excited about some not so excited. Right here back under 78.75 for a move down to 78. Under 78 to the 76.50 mark, 76.35 mark, then to 76. Under 76 for a move down to around 75, 40, 50 area. And for a move below that to 75 or 74.50, these are key areas, then down to 74. Under 74, somewhere right around 73, 75 to 73.45, somewhere in there. You can see what I'm looking at. Will be your normal low of the week, even down to maybe a touch of 73. Under 173, watch for a move down to 172. And under 172 for a move down to around 171.35, possibly 170.85. I don't think we get much lower than that this week. It's a shortened week, only on 4 days to move, but that'll be my ultimate low of the week. Over 180 for longs for a move up to around 181, and then over that to 180, 175, 182. Over 182 to 182.75. Over 182.75 to around this 183.75, 184 area, and over that to 184.50. 184.50 to 185, normal high of the week, your ultimate high of the week, and you're probably seeing it. That's right, those double tops, like SMCI, is different days, but same kind of look where we have these resistance that we just can't get over. That'll be my ultimate high of the week, 187.50, somewhere right around there. There you go. There's your essentially what to be looking for in your levels from A to Z, all the large cap plays, small caps, same thing day in, day out. You're not really looking at too much. Some of these plays will continue to run, which we've had these plays like Lucy, so we're getting a little bit hotter with small cap plays and getting plays to run first day, maybe into their second day. But we know, as most of these plays do in the end, they love to give back gains, and that's the one thing you're looking for. So if they don't dump in pre-market, usually this was, of course, you could see a sub $1 play. So I'm typically looking for plays that spike over $1, up to $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 or something along those lines. They're spiking $1, $2, $3, $4 over $1. And then I'm shorting those in pre-market. And then usually they'll fall off after the bell. The ones that really don't do much in pre-market, these are the ones where the majority of buyers, so to speak, come in and they stay in and they never really pull back. And then one to tell all is where that VWAP's at. If you never really crack that VWAP and you can kind of stay above it, I've noticed that's really, obviously overall, the more I've watched it and throughout the last few years, you're really noticing that's where those bullish plays are, is that VWAP, and we never fully crack it. And what you're noticing is the upper VWAP band is continuing to rise. We'll flatten out, but then rise, flatten out, then rise, flatten out, rise even more, right? that's letting you know this plays bullish. You need to be careful on your shorts. You may get some decent ones here and there, but 100% these plays are bound to continue to move throughout the day and possibly for another day or two. Till next week, have a great rest of your shortened week here, and I'll see you again next week for another weekly preview.